Hello guys, welcome back to another video. It's not going to be my usual type of video, but it needs to be out here in the open right now. So, you all know of creeps on the internet, we all do. They're sometimes everywhere on people's pages, social medias and stuff. But why is this normal? Why are we normalizing this stuff? Like, I feel like maybe I'm not saying it the right way, but this is how it comes to me. But there's so many incidents with young women and sometimes young men where creeps are torturing them and stuff, making them feel weird and making disgusting comments on their pages or just even in real life. Like, it's disgusting. And I say this because I've been in this instance like a few days ago. There was this guy who would be on live streams, like on my live stream pages and stuff. Like anytime I'd go live, he'd be there. And he seemed like a nice fellow, like someone who's chill, just hanging out with the vibe. But like when everyone else leaves chat, and the stream starts to end, he asked me to call him on Discord, and I'm not sure, and he kind of pushes my boundaries a bit. I let him because, like, I never really know how to stick up for myself, but after that, we hopped on this call, and this guy, he would tell me to do things. I didn't want it to get so bad, but he had me just do stuff, and I reached my limits when he asked me to show him my feet. Like, it's just disgusting how people can be. And I don't want anyone going for this like I have, but I'm pretty sure there has already been some people who have went for worse than I have, but this still made me feel uncomfortable, and I want it to be out in the open because there are tons of young women who just want to feel safe on the internet, like to be themselves and embrace who they are. And just because I had this interaction with this creep doesn't mean I'm gonna stop making videos or live streams or impressions or singing content. I want to still be me, like. And I want you guys to know that I'm okay. Nothing got too out of hand. And I say this because women like me and even young men out there can be like tortured too. And I'm not just saying women only need to be safe. You men also need to be safe. There are lots of creeps out in the world, and it's kind of sad who can come up with stuff like this in their minds. Like, who thinks these urges to say these things to people? Like, what in the right mind? Who in the right mind would see a child or a young adult and say disgusting things to them? And also in real life, there was this creepy man who was like in his car and stuff and asking personal questions to me and my siblings, but luckily we got away in time. But I don't know if he was going to do anything more, but I'm just thankful he didn't, and we're all okay. But I just feel like I want to make a stand for myself. I want to talk about how this stuff's not acceptable. And I don't support creep behavior, and I hope none of you do either. Like, I want to make a stand for just young people in general, or even older people in general. This isn't okay for this to happen to anybody. And I hope this video touches some people because I feel like I needed to state this in the open after what happened to me. It took me, like 3 days maybe to recover from what happened. It's not as big as probably what happens to most people out there, but it still hurt, like, this hurt. And I don't want anyone to do this. So, lesson here: if a guy you barely know tells you to switch apps and call him, I do not recommend. I do not recommend that. Maybe if you've been friends for over a year and you have that as your boundaries, that's fine. But if your boundaries are you don't want to call on any social media and a guy or a girl is pressuring you to, that is when you should just unfriend this person, block them, and get them out of your mind. Because people who make you uncomfortable and want to push your boundaries are not the right people to be around. And I say this as I've made the mistake of letting my boundaries get passed by some person, like that creep I was talking about. And for people who haven't had this happen to them yet, I want you to be I want you to stay warned, and I want you to be safe. And I'm hoping that, again, this video touches some of y'all. Remember, don't give personal information to anybody on the internet. And remember to stay true to your boundaries and make sure to be careful with whoever you talk about. I mean, talk to, I meant. And yeah, I'm hoping that people like all of you will be okay, and that you all stay true to yourselves, your boundaries, and who you are. And thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you all are having a good day today. And that's all I want to say. Bye, folks.